Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Chaz Draycott Media, and welcome to the final round of the 4-race Scandinavian GT Series. And what a place to do it as well, to wrap it up here at the long version of it, Circuit des 24 Heures du Mans, or of course, Circuit de la Sarthe at Le Mans. It's an incredible circuit, so much history here, of course, with the Le Mans 24-hour race. And this is bound to be a very, very exciting night of racing. Of course, this is a championship. We have a championship to wrap up. And this is how it stands at the moment. Lasse back, top of the pile at the moment for Williams Esports. 203 points to Jarl Tyron's 166. It's going to take a lot from Jarl and a big mistake or a big turnaround for Lasse back to lose out on that championship this evening. Carl Jansen is third. That is actually Kenneth Ostwald in third place. There's some of the surnames I think it's not quite a fan of here. Ola Steinbart in fifth, Kenneth Gulbrandsen sixth. They're all quite close together in the points after that. But to be fair, it is between our top two, maybe even the top three. Carl Jansen with an outside chance of taking something this evening. But at the moment, it is Lasse back that is doing the job. Fastest as things stand, and not really looking touchable, to be honest. He's only 0.2 of a second faster than Glenn Kay, though, who's just flying down the Mulsanne straight now. Carl Fredrik Hesug is third at the moment for MB Racing Esport Nordic. And then it's Kenneth Ostwald, Asger Radstedt, Benjamin Fuglsang. Oh, there's a car off there. That's the number 66 machine of Stefan Hjelvek that was just off. But yes, we have Benjamin Fuglsang in 6th position. Carl Jansen, championship hopeful, is currently 9th. Jarl Tyron, second in the championship, down in 13th at the moment is Jarl. He's in the number 3 machine for this evening. I think he's been in the number 11 before, but Emil Larsson seems to be in that car. He's a privateer in the championship at the moment, in this very lovely white and orange machine. Here's Chris Tapio in the RPM car. The annoying background music, that's just because it's part of the intro, my friend. It fades out eventually. Good to see you though, Stuffed Sim Racing. Back to Emil Larsson though in this, what looks like just a generic iRacing livery, coming through the Porsche curves. You will have noticed that it's getting dark here, so we may end the race under lights. Oh, Harry Kjellin for Team Vikings has gone off on the 777. That's at turn 1. But what a wonderful place to have this final round of the championship. Epic circuit. Not many circuits compared to this one, do they? We'll go on board with Emil Larsson because he's actually towards the end of his lap. I'm wondering if he's going to do another one. Oh, never mind. He's definitely not going to do another one. I was going to say we could stay on board. Malte Reimer not too far behind. The Dane just going through the Porsche curves now, just on the exit of the Porsche curves, sorry, into the Ford chicane. Listen to that 6.3 litre V8 roar. It's been great to have these cars racing together this season, and of course it's actually been sort of turned around a little bit at the end of the championship, as this car, the balance of performance has very much gone the way of the Mercedes in recent times. It was really not the car to have until quite recently. Look at it go at the hands of Malte Reimer. Pushing hard. Through Tete Rouge. Onto the straight. The legendary Mulsanne straight. Now you'll see the guys staying in the middle of the road here, because there's a slight, as my co-commentator Paul Smith told me a while ago, it's called a crown in the road, where the middle of it rises up slightly where the white line is. Malte Reimer not doing that at the moment, but because the car is lower to the ground over that crown, with the wheels either side of it, it does help the straight line speed. Malte clearly not on a fast lap here, just maybe a sighting lap of the circuit into the first of the 2 chicanes. Back on the power again. Wonderful to hear it. Hello everybody in the chat. Great to see you all. Really hope you're having a wonderful evening. And I hope you're as excited as I am to round out the championship and crown ourselves a champion. This is Carl Frederick Hirsu, currently 3rd at the moment. Doing a fine job. Looks like we're in a jungle here, doesn't it, from that camera angle? Please do remember, of course, guys, to like the video, subscribe as well to Chaz Draycott Media if you haven't already. I've got plenty of iRacing content out there. Broadcasts are plenty as well. I will be doing more and more guides on how to do certain things within iRacing. Reviews of sim racing hardware, potentially, as well as, of course, software. Even games as well, not just sims. All the serious stuff, but some games too. Now, this is the end of practice, so this is the real bit that matters now. And to be honest, there's one man we need to keep our eye on here that has to do all of the work this evening, and that is Jarl Tyen, who has not actually popped out into the pit lane yet. So we wait for him. Good luck to the IGL boys, says Niles Eric Isaacson in chat. Good luck indeed. I'm going to try and catch some of them now, but it doesn't look like any of them are... Actually, Irico Lawson is on his way out. Just conveniently, the Michelin man getting in the way there. Everybody just filtering their way out of the pit lane. You can see all the MB cars there right together at the end. But there is the wonderful-looking IGL Coatings E-Racing car. I absolutely love their liveries. Green and white, especially that sort of shade of green. It's not normally a pretty colour on race cars, but it just works. And the extra white on the top as well really adds to it. So let's hope it brings him a good result tonight. Jarl Tyen is out on circuit with the rest of the MB Racing eSport Nordic cars. We do have a little video, a little promo from RPC and MB at the end of the evening, which we'll have a quick look at. But look at that there with the sun against that corner. It looks absolutely fantastic. Cars all taking to the track now. We'll show you just about how they're spread out. You can see Lasserbach is actually one of the first cars in the train, and it looks to me like he's following. Is that Carl Janssen just in front of him? It is. It's Carl Janssen that heads the train then. Is it sad that I knew that from the front of the cars because of the helmets? I knew that Sindre has a white and red helmet, and Carl has the orange one on. Here is Sindre. Of course, real life racing driver as well is Sindre. He's raced around the Nordschleife more times than I've had hot dinners by the look of it. We've got a very interesting train of traffic right now, and at the back of it is Dennis Bjerk in the Commander Junior team car. And these guys are all going to be giving each other slipstream throughout this qualifying session. That is going to be the king around this circuit. Kenneth Palsrud unfortunately had a moment. What's gone on here? Oh, the car's gone around slowly on the way in. Just kisses the wall. Now the thing is, the tiniest bit of damage around here is really going to mess you up. Like, really going to mess you up. Because you've got to think about your straight line speed. And anything that harms that will harm your lap times. Here's Marty Jakola in one of my favourite looking cars on the grid. Now he's got a Finnish flag on that car, but he's actually, for some reason, down in my software as Swedish. So I'm not quite sure what's gone on there. Either way, the car rattling along and looking good while he does it. Anybody got any predictions for what's going to go on this evening then? Kenneth Palsrod's had another issue. I think he's having a brake problem. Oh, that's a big off, and he's straight into the barrier. At Mulsanne Corner. The car's just not slowing down, is it? You can hear the transmission whine and all the gravel, and yes, he has indeed pulled it back into the pits. The wonderful circuit. And you can see there that it goes uphill, does the straight, so it's something that I don't always recognise, is the fact that it goes up such a steep hill, but it really does climb. I mean, we all know it goes uphill into turn 1, but the actual straight itself is quite steeply uphill. Here's a trio of Tronzos racing. Good looking cars, Marcus Seholm, and I believe Greta Allertorp in front in the number 20. Just looking for the other Tronzo car because they're not all together. The other Greta Allertorp. This is Greta Allertorp 5, and the other account in front there is Greta Allertorp 4. Oh, sorry, the other account behind is Greta Allertorp 4. So we'll have to try and differentiate between the two. At the moment, then, Lasse Bak is actually, well, not at the back of anybody. We're looking back from back. He has got the core cars both behind him there. To me, looks like Carl Janssen with the orange and blue lid. As very wide goes Lasse. Carl Janssen chasing him. Stuck together down towards Mulsanne Corner. These Mercedes look great, don't they? Really good looking cars, especially in their beautiful liveries as well. Out of Mulsanne Corner they go then, and there's the two Coanda Junior team cars behind. It's not Carl Peder Nordstrand, as I thought it was, and it's not Dennis Björk either, so it's clearly it's these pair. Oscar Bixrud, he's having a blink in and out. Just in front of him, Benjamin Fuglesang. To go down towards Indianapolis. They don't want to be making contact here, as Lasse Bak and Carl Janssen almost side by side into Indianapolis. I think actually Carl got the move done and Lasse had to back out of that. I'm sorry, Lasse. Either way, brilliant stuff from the pair of them. Very feisty indeed. Down towards the Porsche curves again. Here's the view from Lasse's car. Oh, he's still there. Oh, it's mighty close to Carl Janssen and Lasse Bak. Some of the best drivers in the world, these pair. They're just unbelievable. Oh, Lasse won't be pleased with that, though. And he's been well and truly put offline, and Carl Janssen gets ahead. I'm not even sure whether Lasse's lap would have been clean after the second chicane, where it looked like he went very wide. You'll see them use all the road there. And yeah, indeed, Lasse Bak into the pit lane. We'll get our first lap times through now then. Carl Janssen will cross the line. Goes fastest with a 3:52.6. 3:52.2 for Benjamin Fuglesang. So he is temporarily our pole sitter for Coanda Junior. Then it's Bixrud sets Askell Branson. Steinbraten goes 6th, 3:56.7. 20-minute session though for them to get their times in. Radstedt goes 5th. But it's still the number 10, Benjamin Fuglesang, top of the pile at the moment. Raymer and Helvik 8th and 9th. Geerdevic goes 7th. All the times come rushing in now. Kai Schubert goes 10th. Pushed down to 11th by Geerdevic, going 8th. Or I think it was O. Lawson actually that put the time in. It is O. Lawson that put the time in. into 7th spot. Larson and Badams make it onto the board. Look at the spread of times, though. With a lap as long as this, nearly 4 minutes, you will see quite the spread in lap times. Glenn Kay goes third, 3:53.1, 3:53.5 for Jarl Tyen. Jarl's going to need a bit more than that if he wants to take the championship away from Lasse back. But Lasse is now on circuit again. Just trying to get away from his rivals, I think. Because it's all well and good getting slipstream, but the thing is, you don't want to be around people that are much slower than you, so you don't want to catch them up, really. You want to be ahead of people that are slower than you. Then you don't give them the slipstream for the whole lap, but at the same time, you don't then get caught up or anything and have to fight. And I think the fact that they were all so similar on pace means that Lasse had to have a bit of a slower lap because he had to really defend his position. These are all the MB Racing Esport Nordic cars down the straight together. But Glenn Kay, the highest place for them at the moment. Carl Janssen is second. Bixrud fourth, then Setsas, Radstedt, Tyne, Gulbrandsen, Dahl, Seholm, Johannesson, Orlorsen, Gjedvik, Steinbraten, Raymer, Larsen, Kjellin, Schubert, Badams, Kjelvik. They're all so close together. It's brilliant, especially that top 8 as well. It goes from being a second down, Bixrud, to 1.5 seconds at Gulbrandsen. Dorgard goes 9th. And the session continues. Over halfway through it already, though, and they've done, what, a lap and a half? An out lap, a fast lap and a half anyway. Matthias Jensen for VG Racing Esport team goes 5th. Good stuff from him. Looks like as well he didn't really have any traffic around him. He's got his teammate not too far back there. Asger Radstedt is another member of that team who's further around a lap. Lucas Dorgard is a little bit ahead as well, so there you go. Here's Andre Sorensen, who's about to put a time in. Where's he going to go on the board? 29th, 10 seconds off at the moment, I'm afraid, for Andre Sorensen. We've got drivers that haven't put a time in yet. Louis Rizan, Greta Olatorp, Kenneth Palsrud, Mats Borg Andersen, Stian Bjerk, Daniel Sendergaard, Emil Larsen, Dennis Bjerk, Carl Peder Nordstrand, interestingly, and Chris Tapio. Dennis Bjerk and Carl Peder Nordstrand, both Commander Junior drivers as well. No laps in for them yet, I'm afraid. Now who's close to finishing one? The leaders were Setsas sets off the very, very loud siren. Don't forget, these guys aren't allowed to reset in qualifying. They're going down the realistic route here. No improvements for either of the Commander Junior drivers near the front. Improvement for Ola Steinbraten up to 9th place. Breaks inside the top 10 does the PX Racing driver. No other improvements yet by the look of it. Hope everything looks nice and smooth though, everybody. It's a little bit jumpy on my screen at the moment, but I think that's just my software being a bit of a pain in my backside. So I hope it does look all good to you lot. Like I say, don't remember. Don't forget to like and subscribe, Chaz Draycott Media. I'm hoping to do another season of this when it comes back. Kenneth Ostwald goes second fastest. Great stuff for him. Salverson goes 13th. But yes, I'm hoping to do another series with these guys. Absolutely loving broadcasting this, and it seems they've been quite happy with the work. But unfortunately, things may change in terms of the dates that they race, but that's obviously nothing that I can confirm yet. But obviously, as you can imagine, my weekends are going to get very busy. I've booked 24 weekends of real-world commentary this year, so I'm a busy boy. One of those phases includes 13 weeks straight where I'm away on the weekends, and 3 of them are European venues as well. Going to Spain, France and Hungary. So it's a busy year for old Chaz. I say old loosely, but I feel older and older every day at the moment. Dustin Rand in the chat. Good to see you, mate. We've only got 8 likes at the moment, guys, and around 60 viewers, so I know you can do better than that. Please do so. Carl Janssen down to 3rd. You can see him at the side of the track there. He's got to go all the way back in now after doing a fast lap. He's just not benefiting from as much slipstream now. Either that or he's just waiting for the right car to follow, really. He's got his teammate just in front there. Sindre Setsas. Dorgard improves, goes 13th fastest for VG Racing Esport team with the pink or magenta chrome wheels. Anybody else about to finish a lap? Yes, Matthias Jensen just crossing the line. What does he do? No improvement from him. Anybody else about to finish a lap? I can't see many that are that close. The next car that will cross the line is Benjamin Fuglesang. And he's got his teammate right with him there as well. That's 5th placed Oscar Bixrud at the moment. The 2 of them working together as best they can. Around the Porsche curves, not the easiest thing to do. The format for this, the racing line, good to see you in chat, mate, is a 20-minute qualifying session and then a 1-hour-long race. It's a wonderful championship, the 4th and final round right now. Some of the very best Scandinavian drivers. 2 from Coanda Junior right here. Going for the line. What can Bixrud do? Goes 2nd fastest. Brilliant stuff. 15 thousandths of a second faster than Ostwald. It's a Coanda Junior 1-2 at the moment. Kenneth Gulbrandsen goes 7th fastest. His teammate behind there was Ola Steinbratton. Doesn't improve, I'm afraid. Now, what can Jarl Tyen do? Because Jarl is, well, not to mention, amongst all this, that looked like one of the core cars getting held up by the MB cars there. That is Sindre Setsas. 2 teams all going for it here. Sindre 8th at the moment. He won't be pleased with this. I'm not sure whether it's an outlap though, so if it is, then he may not be too bothered. But Lasse back. Yeah, he's had his outlap, so he should be finishing his lap soon. He is coming to the end of a lap, although it's getting a bit messy here in the chicane. Everybody waiting. Here is Lasse. So keep an eye on him. He's 34th at the moment. Oh, he's coming back in. Now that's intriguing. Lasse is literally on the brink of clinching the championship tonight, but he's having a nightmare here. Is he going to be starting from further down the order? Because he could get stuck in trouble here early on in this race. Now I'm going to give you all a quick lesson. 2 different types of rear bumper? No, I'm afraid not, mate. Just depends on the livery that some of these guys run. I'm going to give you all a lesson in self-restraint here. My partner's just popped her head round the door of the office and told me that my Domino's pizza has turned up. And I'm not having any until I finish the broadcast, knowing I've got an hour-long race to go. There you go, self-restraint that. But here's your leading duo at the moment, the Coanda Junior team. These guys absolutely on fire. Working together very well, ignoring the rest of them. Side by side they go. Bixrud on the right, Fuglesang on the left. Our left. Into Indianapolis they go, hard on the brakes. Into Arnage. You like the dedication, do you? Straight up massacres. Love it. Honestly, if there was one corner in the world that I could tell to go away, but in different words, it'd be Arnage. I'm sure a lot of you in chat will agree with me. If you've ever driven on Arge in any sim, it's got an unbelievable amount of understeer for a corner that's as flat as it is. It's just such an annoying corner. Cold pizza is not nice though, Alfie. I'm going to have to disagree, I'm afraid. I really don't like cold pizza. I always think that food that's intended to be eaten warm should be eaten warm. Like sausage rolls. People eat cold sausage rolls over here. I do not get that one bit. I do not get that. I don't like hot drinks though, you know, so maybe I'm just a bit weird. I don't like coffee, I don't like tea. I'd rather wake up in the morning and have a cold can of Coke than anything else. Coke Zero, obviously. These two now on their way into the pits. Their work here is done. Where's Lasse back? He's back on track. Is back. But he needs to crack on here. He's got 40 seconds left. I think he's on a fast lap, though. He is. No, he's not. This is his out lap. He's not going to get it done. Oh, my goodness me. Lasse back. Having a nightmare session as Steinbratton improves in 7th place. Lasse back, championship hopeful, starting way down the order. Jarl Tyen, though, he's 12th. He needs to move forward a lot. He really needs to get a win tonight, to be fair, to take anything out of this. He gets 60 points for a race win. And at the moment, the gap at the front is 37. Yeah, 37 points. Ross McFarlane, big chokes. Don't know if that's a nickname for me or what. Good to see you there, mate. But yeah, Lasse back. That's a big surprise, that is. He was with some of the front runners early on. Actually, we'll keep the time tower up yet because we've got still quite a bit of time for the session to finish. Sindre Setsas in the pits. About to complete a lap. Carl Janssen, though, I think is going to go through. He must be on a quick one. 5th place, Glenn Kay. Improves. Half a second off the top spot. Stays 5th. Carl Janssen does not improve. Just in the background is Asger Radstedt, who goes up to 6th. 3:53.1. Mega stuff from Asger Radstedt. Just behind, I think that was Malte Raymer. No, it wasn't. It was Quinn Badams in the very stealthy machine. Dennis Bjerk on his way in after his session, and Lasse back also coming in. Such a shame for Lasse, though. But I suppose it's going to make for a very exciting race, really. Watching Lasse come through from the back. Excuse me. Either way, mega stuff from the two Coanda Junior drivers at the front. Here's their teammate Carl Peder Nordstrand. He's been very exciting to watch this season. Anders Grandal says, great work, Chaz. We want more of you in the future for Scandinavian races. Thank you very much, mate. It's been so much fun broadcasting this series. I'm honestly very, very glad that people have enjoyed what I've been doing. And I do hope for more in the future. We just need to try and work it around my crazy real-world commentary schedule now. That, unfortunately, in this case, takes priority. And for anybody that hasn't seen or hasn't followed me on social media or seen my website, I've been announced as the Clio Cup Europe commentator this year. I'll be travelling all over Europe with Renault Sport as their official series commentator. So we're going to the likes of Circuit de Barcelona, Monza, Misano, Le Danon in France, the Hungaro Ring, Red Bull Ring, Valencia, all over the shop. Hockenheim as well. Can't wait. It's going to be absolutely amazing. I'm so grateful for the opportunity. But like I say, stuff like this, it's just so much fun to cover, and I really hope that I can do more of it. Just time. I can't be in two places at once, unfortunately. Either way. These are the two PX Racing drivers, Kenneth Gulbrandsen and Ola Steinbratton. Just coming towards the Porsche curves. They're on fast laps at the moment. Pushing hard to try and take extra tenths off their time. Now, just looking quickly back at the points situation, you get points all the way down to 20th place. So you need to be in the top 20 to get points. And these two, they're not coming in the pits. Looks like Kenneth Gulbrandsen, who has been an absolute star this season. He's been brilliant to watch. Look at that, chucking it through the chicane. Beautiful livery by iLiveries as well on the PX Racing cars. Across the line, where does he go? 7th, 3:53.2 for Kenneth Gulbranson. Steinbratton down to 10th place, but Kenneth Gulbranson goes within a second of pole. But it's going to be Benjamin Fuglesang. There's a... Oh, look at that. In sync as well. Love that. Nicely done, boys. With the light flashing, but it goes nice and quiet at Circuit de la Sarthe. We could even go for a bit of ASMR. No, I'm joking. I'd never put you lot through that. Either way, interesting qualifying session. Plenty to talk about. Especially the fact that Lasse Back will be coming from the back. Just got to wait for the session to tick over. It's obviously a long lap here, so the session does take a bit of time to tick through. We've had a few cars have an issue at some point. Marcus Seholm having an off at the first chicane. Oh, what on earth? That looked like a wheel failure to me. Watch the car suddenly straighten up. Yep, that's a hardware failure. It straightened up and went full throttle all of a sudden. Malte Raymer has had an issue. That's Indianapolis. Oh, bit out of shape. Comes back on though. Good save. Doesn't go in the wall. If you keep it out of the wall at Indianapolis, you have done a great job. An honestly great job. So, fair play. There weren't many other offs really in the session. Quinn Badhams went off once or twice, but that was about it. Nunu Marcus in the chat. Good to see you. Welcome along to Chaz Draycott Media in the Scandinavian GT series. Isn't it quiet though? Isn't it nice? We'll turn the volume up for you, just so you can hear the wonderful ambience here on iRacing. The hustle and bustle in the background. And don't forget, we have a flyover from France's very own Partuis de France at the start of the race. The French aerobatic display team that fly 5 Alpha Jets with smoke. Benjamin Fuglesang and Oscar Bixrod make it a Coanda Junior team front row. Kenneth Oswald and Carl Janssen line up behind them on row 2. Then it's Glenn Kay and Asger Radstedt. Kenneth Gulbranson and Carl Hessug make up row 4, with Carl Peder Nordstrand alongside Ola Steinbratton rounding out your top 10. Matthias Jensen is then alongside Sindre Setsas, with championship hopeful Jarl Tyen starting 13th. Dennis Bjerk is 14th, Lucas Dorgard 15th, and Kim Salverson alongside. We then have Matthias Dahl and Jeppe Johannesson, Marcus Seholm and Kjetil Larsen round out your top 20. Behind them is Eirik Olaussen, Kai Schubert, Idar Gerdevic and Daniel Søndergaard, followed by Quinn Badhams and Malte Raymer. Then it's Greta Alatorp on row 14, ironically. Harry Kjellin and Emil Larsen round out your 30, with Steinbjerk and Chris Tapio on row 16. Marty Jakola and Stefan Hjelvik, 33rd and 34th. Then we've got Lasse Back, 35th, ahead of André Sørensen, and 36th. Andreas Helgerud, Mats Borg Andersen, Louis Rizan, and Kenneth Palsrud at the back of the grid. So, we'll try and find the grid. There they are. It's a good looking grid, isn't it? Now they start part way around the lap with not a very long run. It's just before the Porsche curves here, so they don't have to do a full warm-up lap. Now, Lasse Back is going to be coming through from very far down the order. This is the view he's got. Even if we go on the front left suspension, you can see how many cars are in front of him. This is not something he's used to in this series, is Lasse. Nice and neat formation though, isn't it, with all those cars there? Either way, we're about to get moving. There's the 2 Coanda cars at the very front that will lead us away. I'm sure something that will be a very proud moment for the Coanda team. They have many achievements, of course. But maybe Lasse just wanted to make his final race interesting. And to be fair, Norglace in the chat as well, just saying Back going from 0 to hero. You never know. Jarl Tyen is one to watch. He is the closest to taking the championship away. Carl Janssen, who is in 3rd. He's not out of the running either, to be fair. Carl is... Actually, no, he is out of the running. He's 63 points back from Lasserbach, so he cannot win the championship this evening unless Bach scores nothing and he gets a race win with plenty of bonus points. So it's pretty much out the question for Carl. But here is your front row duo. Yeah, Benjamin Fuglsang is 15 years old. Unbelievable, isn't it? Absolutely unbelievable. At 15, I could barely draw. But Benjamin is leading this field of cars. I mean, I wouldn't be able to lead this field of cars. Even if I was put on pole position, I would just crumble from the pressure. It's incredible. The mentality of some young drivers that we get in sim racing is just brilliant. And I'm all the more for it. Now you can hear the Partout de France. Great noise. Thankfully, it's not as loud as it used to be. But the final round of the Scandinavian GT Series from Circuit de la Sarthe is underway. And it's a brilliant start by Benjamin Fuglsang. There's a bit of contact. Carl's off in the background. Dennis Bjerk has run wide. Is he going to hit the wall? No, he doesn't. Looks like it's checked up massively in the background, but look at this field here. 4 wide down the straight, just in front. Carl-Peder Nordstrand around the outside. Matthias Jensen involved in this. He's on the inside. Oh, he's got caught up in it more than he would have bargained for. Carl Fredrik Herzog in there in a big way. All the IGL cars in a herd together in the middle of the field. Where's Lasserbach in all of this? He's gained 2 places so far. Car around behind him. Martti Jakola manages to get it all together. But at the front, the top 7 have not changed at all. Fuglsang still leading from Bixrud, Ostwald, Janssen, Kay, Radstedt and Gulbrandsen. And now the slipstreaming begins. Down the back straight they go then. Look at them flying through the scenery. Yes, they've gone behind the trees. Into the first chicane for the first time. Plenty going on. Got Dennis Bjerk side by side with Carl-Peder Nordstrand in there. Just in front of them is Matthias Dahl, who goes through. Battles all the way down the order though. Great to see. There's Mats Borg Andersen in the TC Motorsport machine. 34th at the minute. Look at the train in front. We've actually got Stefan Hjelvik in the IGL Coatings e-racing car side by side with Matthias Jensen, who got caught up in that accident at turn 1 and 2, and it looks to me like Hjelvik's going very slowly there. He is going slowly. As we move further up, Marcus Seholm down the inside, or he's trying to go down the inside of number 81, Jeppe Johannesson. There's so much to look at around here. There really is. There's cars hitting one another. This is in front, Dennis Bjerk. Again, he's had a very, very lively opening lap as Dennis Bjerk. Started 9th, as you can see from the number on his windscreen. He's side by side with his teammate in the number 2. In the number 29, Carl-Peder Nordstrand. Sorry, it was Nordstrand that started 9th. Oh, a bit of argy-bargy in the background. Cars sideways as well. Doesn't really look like they're doing that much pace when they come towards you here, does it? Now here's Lasserbach. 7 places gained at the moment for Lasse. Really on a charge. But how quickly can he continue to move forward with what's going on? These battles will all spread out and it'll get more and more difficult to get to the front. So there's 2 of you kind of junior team drivers getting very close for comfort with each other. Oh, lively, lively stuff on the exit. Mats Borg Andersen has gone off circuit, unfortunately. Just come back on. Martti Jakola's gone off as well. Let's have a look at what happened to Mats Borg Andersen. Went to Indianapolis. Oh, just a little bit too hot into there. Martti Jakola does the same thing. Just the perfect timing. But at the front, still, Fuglsang, Bixrud, Ostwald, Janssen. This quartet looking to break away from Glenn Kay, who's got Kenneth Gulbrandsen and Asger Radstedt for company. Then it's Sindre Setsas, Ollie Steinbart, Jarl Tyen and Kim Salverson. Kim Salverson's had a really good start to this race, actually gained 5 positions. He's chasing his teammate Jarl Tyen, who's gained 3 places. Sindre Setsas actually started 12th and has gained 4, so a mega start for him. It's all about keeping your head in this race. And that's exactly what Benjamin Fuglesang is going to have to do. But he's got Oscar Bixrud very much playing the Nico Rosberg rear gunner role, or let's say Valtteri Bottas, just to keep it Scandinavian, or at least temporary, in some form Scandinavian. Kenneth Gulbrandsen, real star of this series. He's the only driver inside the top 6 that's actually gained a place. Everyone else is held station at the moment. They're all taking liberties through Tertre Rouge. Yeah, Carl Janssen is very much flying the Swedish flag alone there, isn't he? Great battles all the way up and down the order though. Gjerdevic. Once it spreads out a little bit more, we'll show you the gap, shall we? I can hear contact here and there. So there may be the odd touch into the chicanes for some of these guys. Oh, Andre Sorensen's had an issue. What's going on here? Tertre Rouge. Oh, contact. That's Mats Borg Andersen in the unlucky 13. The two of them around. Mats Borg Andersen straight back to the pit lane. Josh saying Lasser's getting sacked. Lasser sack, not Lasser back. Good to see you, Josh. Hope you're well, mate. But no, Lasser. Not sure if you've been watching the whole time, Josh, but Lasser did 3 outlaps in qualifying and not much else. Started 35th on the grid. He's up to 22nd now. This is Quinn Badhams, the privateer, side by side with him. He's the biggest mover in the field so far as Lasser, gaining 12 spots. Oh, that's close for comfort with Quinn Badhams. Down the inside at Mulsanne corner. Gets it done, and Quinn is suddenly under attack from one of the 2 Greta Alatops behind him. At the front, though, it's very close between the 2 Commander Junior drivers, Benjamin Fuglesang and Oscar Bixrud. Kenneth Ostwald putting the pressure on, and then, of course, Carl Janssen in 4th place with a great view of what's going on ahead. Down towards the Porsche curves they go. Carl's teammate Sindre Setsas is only 4 positions back from this in 8th. He's gained 4 spots to get there as well. Kim Salverson's gained 5. Malte Reimer's gained 6. So we've got some good drives through the field at the moment. See a lap round here, much longer. They will have to pit in this race as well, so there is a pit strategy to think about. I'm pretty sure all of them will put as much fuel in as they can and make the car last. Stefan Hjelvik has just had an issue, I think, at Arnage. Gets going again. Down in 35th place, but here's your leading quartet. And then you've got this lot behind Glenn Kay. Now, this was 2 different battles on the previous lap, but it's actually come together here. Sindre Setsas in the middle of it. Ola Steinbart just behind in the beautiful PX racing machine. Gotta love that car. Janssen fastest lap of the race, 3:54.0. Only 2 tenths quicker than the cars ahead of him, but either way, great stuff. Oh, Harry Kjellin has had an issue. He's around at the Ford chicane. Is he going to come in the pits from that? No, he's straight back onto the circuit. Whoa, careful. Scary stuff indeed. Now, Bixrud has lost a place, actually. I think he might have got a slowdown penalty. No, he just gets a poor run out the final chicane and loses that spot. So Fuglesang no longer has that rear gunner, but he's actually got a bigger gap now because the space that Bixrud used to fill was now opened up. You can see them, as I mentioned before, staying in the middle of the road, crown of the road, helping the speed of the car into the first chicane. That cone will get put back there, don't you worry. Look how hard he's pushing on the exit of the chicane. So wide. Here's a battle further down. Kjetil Larsen being side by side with Jeppe Johannessen for a while now. He's going to go around the outside into the chicane, gets it working. Lovely stuff. Now what can Jeppe do to come back at him? Because he's got Matthias Dahl right behind him. Might see Matthias just pop out here because he's getting very close to the back of Jeppe. There he is. Oh, Jeppe's gone with him on that side. They're both coming right at us as well. That's Matthias Dahl on our right hand side in the 4-1-2. Jeppe Johannessen on the left. Breathe in. Breathe in, Kjetil Larsen. Is Johannessen going to get this done? That's not going to work, boys. Oh, look at that. Great stuff from Matthias Dahl. Passing the pair of them down the inside. Gorgeous. You've got to love moves like that. Back at the front. Jansen's still ahead of Bixrud. I'm thinking around here we're going to get a lot of pit stops on the same lap. Because of how long the lap is here, it's going to be difficult to try and make the fuel last for an extra one. Jeppe Johannessen coming back at Larsen. What can he do out of Mulsanne? Can he get on the power well? Oh, it's a little bit scrappy on the exit, isn't it? The speed that this car picks up is fantastic. .270 Ks. In the slipstream, you'll get about 290, I reckon, around here. Into Indianapolis. That's the fastest part of the circuit as well. That's the run down to Indy. Look how much the cars float around as well. You don't always see that from the outside, but these things really do move around. Good battles in the background as well there. Idar Gerdevic, Quinn Badams and the two Greta Eltops just behind. 22nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th. Quinn Badams all over the back of Gerdevic. Just ahead of them, the two privateers, Malte Raymer and Kai Schubert. Getting a bit friendly as well. Around the outside goes Quinn, doesn't work. Has to wash off the speed. And Gerdevic goes back in front. Love that shot through there. Look at that, it's really opened up now actually. Greta Eltorp and Greta Eltorp all over the back of Quinn Badams. Jesse Jones finding something funny. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're well. There's Kenneth Palsrud. 38th at the moment. Trying to get past Andreas Helgerud. Side by side into the Porsche curves. Around the outside he goes. Kenneth had an issue in qualifying and dropped a few places, unfortunately. Now Lasserbach has gained 16 spots. He's up to 19th. But the gap ahead to Jeppe Johannessen is 1.8 seconds. That's not really slipstream range at the moment, I'm afraid. So he's going to have to be hopeful that he can just get that closed down on pure pace. I mean, to be fair, he's had 2 corners so far and it's down to 1.1 seconds. So shut up, Chaz. Here's your leading bunch. Lovely shot from the chopper. Carl Jansen 3rd. Just behind him is Oscar Bixrud. And you've got Ostwald and Fuglesang just in front. It is very tough indeed, Jesse. This series has been fantastic. Really has. Final round this is tonight. And I've loved every minute of it. We've got Lasserbach starting from the back. Championship hopeful. Jarl Tyen, he's gained 3 places to get 10th. He's 2nd in the championship and the only man that can take it away. But he's 40, no, what was it I worked out? 37 points behind. You get 60 points for a win. If he finishes where he is now, Jarl Tyen, if he finishes 10th, he'll get 36 points. So that's not even enough to leapfrog Lasserbach. He needs to finish at least 9th with Lasserbach getting no points, so outside the top 20, but at the moment he's 19th. So as it stands, Lasser will get 2 points. They'll actually be tied on points if they finish where they are now. That's how close this is. But we expect Lasser to continue moving forward. We're only just getting up to a quarter of the way through this race. So plenty can still happen. Great sound though from this car, absolutely love it. You could barely see Kenneth Gulbrandsen in there for a moment there, right behind Glenn Kay. See what he can do here. Is he going to go for it? Because the thing is, around here, you know, the more that you follow another car, you can potentially save fuel. So these guys seeming to do quite a bit of that at the moment. Got to be careful catching the gravel there, but look how close this train of cars is. At the back of it, Carl-Peder Nordstrand is actually watching from a distance. Oh, Kim Salverson. Oh, he gets going. He's right into the racing line. Jeppe Johannessen's had an off as well. This is Lasserbach coming through, but Kim Salverson, oh, be really annoyed with himself there with that. Just gets going again, straight onto the racing line. I know as well that Carl-Peder Nordstrand won't be happy with that. Big damage to the front of his car. It's Lucas Dorgaard. Definitely on the door of Dennis Bjerk. Kenneth Ostvold fans in the chat, well, they'll be happy. Second place at the moment. Oh, the Steinbraten 9th after starting 10th. But this lead quartet is brilliant to watch. White is definitely the colour for the Mercedes-AMG GT3, isn't it? I love how, I'm not sure if you noticed that there, everybody, but we'll have a look at this in slow-mo, just so I can poke a bit of fun at iRacing. You'll see that the exhaust there is actually painted on the sill of the car. I'm not sure whether that's just on the MB racing car or whether that's iRacing have done that, but I quite like that, you know. If it was iRacing, then it's sneaky, but if it was the MB guys, then it's clever. Yes, that was 101 on how to not rejoin, unfortunately. Lasserbach is up to 16th. He's gained 19 positions. Chris Tapio, I'm being asked, is 28th at the moment, 4 places gained. In the lovely-looking RPM machine. He's going to be hitting plenty of RPMs tonight. Lasserbach would gain 5 points in this race, which would mean that Tyen has to finish 8th to tie on points with him as well. So Lasserbach would take the championship still on wins. So with Lasserbach currently 16th, Jarl Tyen needs to finish 7th or higher. And we've still got 47 minutes of the race to go. Sorry, 43. Shut up, Chaz. My maths, I tell you what, guys, it's a good thing I'm a commentator and not a mathematician, isn't it? Anyway, you don't have to be a mathematician to figure out that Marcus Seeholm is close to the back of Matthias Dahl. Not much slipstreaming going on here, although it is, but Dahl isn't getting away or being closed up on too much, is he, by Seeholm? We've had Stefan Hjelvik and Kenneth Palsrud having an issue. Here's Stefan Hjelvik. Oh, on the way out of Porsche curves and a big hit in the wall. Big hit in the wall. Kenneth Palsrud has also had an issue. Kenneth's had a lot of issues tonight. I think he's having hardware troubles, is Kenneth. It's just not working for him at the moment. Oh, I think we've got... Someone was dropping down the order there. I think it was Gratuito at the top. We do have the live timing page. Just give us 2 seconds and I'll pop that in. I should remember in future to put that in the description or something. Apologies, but thank you, Anders, for asking. That's much appreciated. You helped me do my job properly, or at least try to do my job properly. Here's Chris Tapio. Marty Iacola's on his left. Oh, that was close. Marty Iacola getting the move done. Chris Tapio down to 29th. He's got Matthias Jensen right behind him now. Matthias has dropped 19 places from where he started, so he's going to hope for a better other 3 quarters of the race. Side by side with Chris Tapio. Just ahead as well, look at that. 26th place, Stein Bjerk and Emil Larsen right together. Oh, it is in the description. Oh, right, okay. I can't remember, honestly, for the life of me, whether I do put it there or not. But thank you, guys. Stein Bjerk in the Batmobile. Arnage down the inside. Lovely stuff. Stays ahead of Emil Larsen. Oh, Eirico Larsen has had an accident. He's had a boom boom. Gets back on. It's not been the best of evenings for the IGL Coatings e-racing team. Their highest placed driver at the moment is Kjetil Larsen. Currently 17th. Carl Fredrik Hasug has had an off. Oh, and Emil Larsen's off. Emil Larsen, who we saw fighting with Chris Tapio. Let's have a look at what happened to Carl Fredrik Hasug. Oh, clips the gravel. Around he goes. Now, what happened to Emil Larsen? Oh, contact with the Batmobile. Very lucky not to get hit again there, actually. That was a scary, scary moment for Emil. 20 minutes through the race. We've got Louis Rizan now having an issue. Oh, big damage to... Actually, no, he's just round the corner. Car's in the pits, though, trying to get into some clean air, potentially. I was going to look back at the front, though, because this still going on for the race lead. And look at that in the background. Sindre Setsas side by side with Asger Radstedt. Awesome racing again, though. Thank you very much for the likes and any subscriptions that have come in so far. Really, really appreciate that, guys, honestly. The support for my work this season has been phenomenal, and I can't thank you all enough for it. But the main point is we still have a race to decide here on Chaz Draycott Media in the Scandinavian GT Series. It seems nice and calm from up here, doesn't it? We're in the chopper cam, just flying along in France, and it's wonderful. These guys are working so hard towards getting a result here. Ahead of this, by the way, Kenneth Gulbrandsen, just there. He's all over the back of Glenn Kay. 5th and 6th position. Down towards Mulsanne corner. Is he going to go for the move? No. He's backing out. He's trying to save a little bit of fuel. As it's been discussed before, iRacing models the fuel usage based on throttle position rather than revs. So if you can just lift the throttle a little bit more, you can save fuel quite well in these things, especially on a track like this. Now Benjamin Fuglesang, he's going to be hoping his name is Benjamin Fuglesave, because he's leading this train and he's not able to really do much at the moment about saving it. Kenneth Oswald behind, Carl Janssen and Oscar Bixrud, as it has been for a number of laps now. This is the 6th lap of the race, 22 minutes in. Don't forget, these cars will usually do, I think we've seen them do anywhere between 35 to 50 minutes on a tank. As wow, that was very, very wide and late from Karlped and Nordstrand. Turns it into an overtaking manoeuvre somehow and gets through. Matthias Dahl flashing his lights. He's not happy with it. Chucks it back down the inside. Says, have that. Oh no, side by side, wheel to wheel contact. Karlped and Nordstrand is going to hate that corner. No, I know what you mean, Peter. I know. Lasse Bak is in this as well, though, so he needs to be very careful here. He's got Marcus Seholm in there with him. Andreas Helgerud has had an off. Not sure whether he's had enough, but he's had enough. Karlped and Nordstrand is going to have had enough. He's getting shoved around all over the place here at the moment. There they go through the Porsche curves. Chris Tapio's had an off as well. We'll come back to it because here is Andreas Helgerud having an issue. Oh, the car just over-rotates on the way in. It just gives it a kiss of the wall. And this is what happened to Chris Tapio. I'm imagining he's just lost it into Indianapolis, as I'm sure we all have done on multiple occasions on the way in. Not too bad. Is he just going to clip the gravel on the exit here? No. It's going to be Arnage then. Difficult corner to get right. There's a bump on the way in. Oh, and he's clipped just that. Hits the AstroTurf. Car goes sideways. Lucky though, doesn't hit anything, so he gets to continue, which is what you want in races like this. 24 minutes down. Domino's is still calling my name. But look at this from Lasseback. What a great drive so far. 21 places gained up to 14th position. So at the moment he'll gain 15 points. I think if Lasser finishes 13th or higher, because the gap is 37 points, to take that to 60, he needs what? 23? So yeah, if he finishes 12th or higher, then he is champion. Simple as that. There's not enough points in the world for Carl Janssen. For Jarl Tyen to take away from him. Lasseback is now into 13th place, so he only needs one more position. Excuse me, I just dropped something. We needs one more position to take the championship. Bixrud now ahead of Carl Janssen. So he decides that he's had enough of fuel saving and staying in there, putting the pressure on Kenneth Ostwald now. Jarl Tyen is still in there though, he's just not really got anyone around him at the moment. 10th place on the road, but that is where Lasser is in terms of relative position on track. It's been an awesome drive by Lasser so far. I'm sure he's going to be doing his best to make that continue. Kenneth Palsrod's had an issue. Again, he's having a real nightmare tonight, isn't he, Kenneth? That's a real shame for him, that. Just the most annoying of spins in that car. Back end just pendulums one way and then the other. This is Seholm, just behind Matthias Dahl. Now these guys, they have the option to mess with Lasser here because they don't really have to sit behind him, but they could potentially save fuel in doing so. This is close again. Glenn Kay has got Kenneth Gulbrandsen and Asger Adstead just in there behind him. Sindre Setsas. Ola Steinbratten's dropped off the back of this a little bit. They're all very careful about clipping the gravel out of there. It's so easy to spin the car. I say Ola's dropped off this though, to be fair. He's got right back in it in just a couple of corners. That's how much it can change on a track like this. If you've got stop-start sections. Either way, great racing so far. Here's Kai Schubert just behind Malte Raymer. Through Indianapolis they go. Greta Alatorp just behind. Through Arnage, nice and tidy. That sounded like somebody going, yep. Sounded like a slide from a while away from Greta Alatorp. You could just hear the tyres starting to go initially, and then that was it. Big, big slide on the exit of Arnage. And a lot of time lost. Now, none of these guys pitting yet. I'm expecting a few people to potentially pit early. Personal best for Benjamin Fuglsang, and that is exactly what you want as well. He's actually faster than all of the cars behind him. But I suppose the other guys may have been lifting off a bit. Ola Steinbraten goes fastest of the race so far, 3:53.5, so definitely catching up with the cars ahead. Kjetil Larsen has just lost out to Johannesson in the Ford chicane. But yeah, Ola Steinbraten, great stuff so far. Really strong pace. Just not quite on the back of this train yet. Kai Schubert's just come into the pits, as you can see there on the left. He's dropping down the order now. Onto the Mulsanne again we go then with Ola Steinbraten. Great noise from that 6.3 litre V8. such fantastic speed down the Mulsanne as well. And there is the fuel saving, the dip of the clutch, drop of the revs. Later on the brakes though, and right back with this lot. It's close for second place now. Are we going to see Oscar Bixrud go past Kenneth Ostwald? He could stick behind and save fuel, or he could go for a move here, and he does. Oscar Bixrud goes up into second place and returns Coanda to a 1-2. Coanda Junior team first and second in this race now. And what he's done there is put himself in a position where he can still save fuel, but he's also in a position to defend his very deserving race leader teammate, Benjamin Fuglsang. He's done a great job so far as Ben. It's easy to crack under pressure, but it really has been a stunning performance. Thank you to those of you that are subscribing on YouTube as well, to Chaz Draycott Media. It is much appreciated. Thank you to those that have liked the video. I'm hoping to be back next season with these guys. Like I've said, real world commentary will have to be worked around. What a fantastic championship this has been. We've had big grids all the way through and top quality drivers at every single round. Now Lasse Bak, who is definitely much the talking point this evening. The car you can see ahead, that is a championship winning position for him. 12th place scores you 25 points. Now if he scores 25, there will be in no way, even if Yaltayan gets 60 points, he will not gain enough points to beat Lasse in the championship. And this is a man at work, everybody. 3.7 seconds the gap at the moment. There it is. It's gone up to 3.8 actually out the corner, but they do spread out, and of course Dorgaard's going to have some slipstream ahead. But watch it come down around corners like the Porsche curves. Look how quick and committed Lasse is through there. Look at it, the car wants to break away all the time. It's sideways. That's unbelievable. He's barely even steering. 3.5 seconds it's gone down to now. This is the hard bit. It's off camber, it's over a slight crest, and look at that. Back up to 3.5 as he gets back in the slipstream. Oscar Bixrud 531. 353.1. Lasse using all of the road there to his advantage. Bit of curb here, bit of curb there. Gets on the power, and look at that, 3.1 seconds now the gap to the car ahead. Awesome sector by Lasse Bak. You've got to love it. Chris Tapio has had another issue, I'm afraid. Emil Larsen also having an issue. That's too hot into Indianapolis. Car goes around. And this was Chris Tapio. Has he done the same again? He has. It's the second time at Arnage. It's easy to do. That was literally a carbon copy, wasn't it? 2.8 seconds now between Lasse Bak and a championship winning position. The Yaltayan is still in 10th place. All on his own there. You can even see Lasse in the background. Get it? Background. Tapio da Asio. Yeah, I like that. That was an incredible lap from Lasse, wasn't it? Fastest lap of the race, I must add. 3:53.0 with no slipstream. That's just nuts. Absolutely nuts. As you can hear, we've got a battle flying past us. Asger Radstedt very much stuck in the middle with you. And he's stuck in the middle with the incredibly talented Kenneth Gulbrandsen and Sindre Setsas. Glenn Kay still leading this. The top 5 are now back to how they started this race. So in terms of position changes, there hasn't actually been much go on there. Obviously they have gone one way then the other, but yeah, either way, Still cracking on. Further down the order, we've got a little battle here between Matthias Jensen and Marty Jakola. Marty's actually gained 10 places in this race so far. He's having a really strong drive, to be fair. Now they need to try and work together to try and catch up to someone else that can give them slipstream here, but that's easier said than done. It's close between Kjetil Larsen and Jeppe Johannesson. They just go through Mulsanne and it's all nice and tidy. This is the lead battle. Honestly bonkers, isn't it? Benjamin Fuglsang, Oscar Bixrud, Kenneth Oswald and Carl Janssen still all together. And then we've got this that we were just looking at. Glenn Kay, Kenneth Gulbrandsen, Asger Radstedt, Sindre Sexas and Ola Steinbraten. And now Jarl Tyen has actually been caught by Dennis Bjerk, Lucas Dorgaard and, importantly, Lasse Bak. It's still reeling them in, although the gap has gone up actually 3.2 seconds as Greta Alatorp overtakes Malte Raymer. The gap has gone back up a little bit here, but it's going to come down again now. So it was 3.2 seconds. Now it's 3.1. Down to 3. 2.9. I mean, I'm not sure why I'm reading it out loud. You can see it. Just look at the commitment through there. It's incredible stuff, isn't it? So careful not to get a slowdown through any of this bit. But again, through the Ford chicane, just watch this. Especially now that Dorgaard is following other cars. Look at that. That's incredible. And that is why Lasse Bak is your championship leader. He's done it again, 3:52.8. A second faster than Dorgaard with no slipstream. That is just insane pace. And that is championship winning stuff, everybody. But he's not done it yet. It can still change, but he's gained 22 positions. I'll show you the gains and losses on the left-hand side. Marty Jakola, like I say, 10 places. Alatorp's gained 7. Johannesson is in the pit lane now, hidden behind the large Michelin man. There you go. We can do a pit lane camera. So you see the main straight and the huge screen there with the iRacing branding on it. We're over halfway through, actually. We've got less than 24 minutes of this race to go. I can't believe how quickly it's flown by once again. This championship is always entertaining. And the guys behind the scenes, you know, they've done a great job at organising it, to be fair. They've been brilliant to just see them working and applying all the rules, interacting with the drivers, and just getting a very friendly paddock together. You know, there's been so many awesome people involved in this series. Been a lot of fun to watch. Now Oscar Bixrud had a bit of a blink in and out there, which will not be helping this man. Kenneth Oswald, he's just sort of sticking with them at the moment. Carl Janssen just behind, he's doing the same. It's very stale at the front here. They're not really pushing to overtake one another too much. And you've got the second train. I'm wondering whether in the pit stop window whether anyone from this train will break through to another one. Or even drop back, you never know. Because it's very easy to have a slower pit stop and then come out in clean air, which around here is not really what you want. But Dennis Bjerk is flashing the lights, he's saying, I'm coming after you. And I know that I said it was going dark earlier, but unfortunately it's actually getting lighter and lighter. It was morning, not sunset. My apologies. So rather than the track cooling down, it's actually heating up. But either way, it has provided great lighting for shots like that as well. Great lighting for this race. Lasse Bak is now within 2 seconds of Lucas Dorgaard. And we're once again into the sector where it matters. And where he will continue to be quicker than the VG Racing eSport team driver. Dennis Bjerg just in front, of course. Very much in the middle of this, as he's been in the middle of a lot of things in this race meeting. But Yaltayan, you know, he's just driving his race as best he can at the moment. He knows that things will be going on. As Fuglsang, race leader in the pits. Yes, yeah, the track temperature is dynamic as well, so the track is very impressive in iRacing. So when cars drive over certain sections of it, it gets rubbered in and so on, dependent on the friction that's put through it. And certain lines do get hotter and cooler, not just overall track temperature. You know, it does get rubbered in. They do have dynamic tracks in iRacing, so you will see rubbered in bits on the circuit. It's awesome, really is awesome. We've got a few drivers in the pits actually. Lasse Bak, importantly, is one of them. Now let's have a look at pit stop times. Benjamin Fuglsang. How long is he going to be in the pits for? We'll show you. There's their pit stop times. Benjamin in for 18.6 seconds, 19.3 for Lasse. Any shorter stops? 18.8 for Bjerg. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Very close between the lot of them. 20.1 for Matthias Dahl. We'll pop the pit stops up on the left-hand side, so you can see Benjamin Fuglsang. He's actually back out on track on his own now. 20 minutes of the race to go, so he knows he doesn't need to save fuel anymore, but he's just going to have to push like mad on these following laps. At the front though, Oscar Bixrud still leading the race. Down towards the second chicane. Get rid of the cone, yep, always. They always hit the cones, and I almost feel sorry for them, to be fair. Here's that second group. Glenn Kay, Kenneth Gulbrandsen, Asger Radstedt. Glued together, these three. It's brilliant. The train makes its way down towards Mulsanne corner. Sindre Sets that's a little bit further back from Radstedt than we've seen before. I should say. In they go, hard on the brakes. Careful not to clip the gravel on the exit. I've seen so many cars do that. I do have championship standings. We did show them earlier on, but I'm not bringing them back up mid-race, unfortunately. But the only ones you need to worry about at the moment are the fact that we have Lasse Bak at the top of the pile with Yaltayan 37 points behind him. So if Lasse finishes 12th or higher, oh, as that gets lively through there, Glenn Kay gets overtaken by Radstedt and Gulbrandsen into Indianapolis. Lasse only needs to finish 12th or higher to guarantee that he is champion, because then even if Yaltayan wins the race, he cannot score enough points. Can Ola Steinbraten get third? That's an interesting point. He can, yes. He's only 8 points behind Carl Janssen, but Carl is currently ahead of him in the race. And the other driver between them is Kenneth Ostwald, who is currently second. So if Ostwald and Janssen get outscored by him, then sure, there's only a handful of points between them, so Steinbraten could get third. You never know what's going to happen with this sort of fight as well. But this is great stuff. Glenn Kay back ahead now of Asger Radstedt, but all this is helping Kenneth Gulbrandsen get away. Now what are your leaders going to do? Oscar Bixrud, they've all surely going to come in. Yeah, they do. There are two of your championship fighters, Kenneth Ostwald, Carl Janssen. Let's see what the rest of them do. Yep, they come in as well. Now, interestingly, Sindre stays out. You've got to wonder, how much fuel can you save? 2 laps worth is a lot. So that may be a reason that he dropped off the pace of those guys a little bit there. But everybody else in. Karl-Petter Nordstrand is the next car up the road that hasn't come in the pits. Yaltayan is in as well. He's in. Kjetil Larsen is in. And then it's Benjamin Fuglsang. There he is. He was leading the race before. Now, is anybody on their way out? It doesn't look like it, so Benjamin's going to hold on to this, I think. He might have genuinely done the undercut on these boys. Carl Jansen's moving first. Carl Jansen has jumped Oscar Bixrud. Here's Benjamin Fuglsang, and I think he might have been jumped, actually. Carl Jansen getting away. Where's Benjamin? There. It's not enough. Carl Jansen leads the race. Carl Jansen leads, Bixrud second, Oswald third, Fuglsang is going to be fourth. Obviously this is theoretical, Sindre Setsas still leads the race. Where is Lasse back in comparison to Jarl Tyen? There's Lasse, there is Jarl. Jarl is directly in front, but very importantly, Lasse back is in 11th position. That is championship winning stuff, no matter what Jarl Tyen can do now. Lasse is currently champion-elect. He's gained 24 positions from where he started, 35th on the grid after a very, very confusing qualifying session. It's been the drive of a champion so far. Just over 15 minutes go. Just 15 minutes left to go. I can barely get my words out at the minute. It's dramatic. But Carl Jansen is core sim racing 1-2 at the moment. Sindre out there on his own. Now it's 51 seconds total time in the pits. Sindre is 31 seconds ahead. If he was to come out 51 seconds later, he would be right with Lasse back. That's how long it takes in the pits. Anywhere from 51 to 55, even 57 seconds for some of these drivers. Lucas Dorgaard was in there for 57 seconds. So if you based it on 57 from Sindre, he would be 13th. He'd actually come out, 13th, just ahead of Marcus Seholm, who is here. So I'm intrigued to see what Sindre can do, but now look, the gloves are off now. No fuel saving, no messing about, just completely balls to the wall racing now. Oscar Bixrud back out in front. Kenneth Ostwald trying to get ahead of Carl Jansen as well. Carl's on the inside, Kenneth backs out of it. Bright yellow calipers of the Mercedes-AMG GT3. Very visible there. There's a battle a little bit further back. Gulbrandsen, Radstedt and Steinbraten. Steinbraten doesn't look like he's on for third in the championship at the moment, I'm afraid. But this is kicking off again. Do we dare look back? Nope, we're inside the front of Carl Jansen's car. Carl is literally bump drafting a GT3 car at Le Mans. This is amazing. Very sensibly gets on the brakes a little bit earlier than Bixrud. Pops and bangs all the way down. So this is your top three battle now. You've got to feel gutted for Benjamin Fuglsang though. Benjamin was really flying early on at the front, but he had to take more fuel than the guys around him. 18 seconds for him, 16 and 15 seconds for the guys in front. Now where is Sindre? Here he is, just coming round to the final corner and into the pits he goes. So let's see what he does on pit entry. It's a very difficult bit to get right in itself. You can hear the amazing whine from the gearbox in the Mercedes. Sounds like a supercharger full of water. Creeps his way down the pit lane. And here's the rabble chasing after him. Fuglsang ran wide there. Looks to me like he might have got a slowdown penalty for that, but I think he got away with it. Now here's your race leaders. Now I suspected that Sindre would come out about 13th place, and I still maintain that that's where he might be at the moment. There goes Bixrud back into the race lead, although Sindre, to be fair, he doesn't have to take as much fuel. So he has gotten going again, and he's actually going to be right back with this battle. I did think that it seemed a bit unreasonable for him to be that far down. And there you go, he really didn't have to fuel much. Look at that. Stuff your 13th place, Chaz. Great stuff from Sindre Setsas. Jumps a lot of them. Mega. Really mega stuff there from Sindre. Now then, onto the back straight they go. down the back straight. It's so quick down there. You've really got to have your wits about you. I understand we're having a few frame rate issues at the moment, everybody. Do stick with me. I'm just trying to sort them out on the fly here as well. Yeah. We are having a bit of an internet issue by the look of it. Should be back any second now, though. We have quite fickle internet here. If you do more than one thing on it at a time, then it does go down the hill. Either way, I think we should be alright now. Thank you for your patience on that. Now here is some patience at the front. Or a lack of. Because Oscar Bixrud now back to the front. Kenneth Oswald second. Carl Janssen third. Great battling from all of them. Just over 10 minutes to go. That'll be what? 2 laps? No, it won't. Maybe, well, if it's 4 minutes... So we'll maybe get 3 laps left. We're halfway around a lap now. So that's what, 2 minutes to go, you could say. Oh, it's going to be close. It's going to be close either way. Very close, actually, to getting an extra lap here. So that could be an interesting thing to think about with the fuel, you know. Some of these guys may not have the fuel for an extra lap if we have to do one. Anyway, this is Marcus Seholm in the Tronte Racing car behind Matthias Dahl. I can now confirm this is your championship battle on track. Lasserbach, 11th place is enough for the championship. Jarl Tyen 10th, just in front of him there. The two of them very close together. And nobody else anywhere near them. There they are. You can't even see Jarl Tyen as a separate dot on the map, but he is there, look, there. They're just very close together on the map. So, back to the front we go. And back to the front has gone Oscar Bixrud. Oh, Emil Larsson's had an issue apparently. Let's have a look what's happened here. Arnage, Astro, spin. If we had a quid. Happens a lot, unfortunately. Now, Asger Radstedt and Kenneth Gulbrandsen, 6th and 7th here, are actually where they started this race. Sindre Setsas is the biggest mover inside the top 10. He's gained 7 spots from where it all began. And it was really the pit strategy that's done it for Sindre. It was a great bit of thinking. The car's getting mucky as well, isn't it? It just looks awesome. Really does look awesome. Further back, we've got Greta Alatorp, Idar Gerdevic and Malte Reimer for 19th, 20th and 21st place. Greta Alatorp's gained 8 spots in this race. Not a bad drive. Malte Reimer's gained 5. Side by side they go into the Porsche curves. Malte Reimer wanting to take a chunk out of that there. It's so much more dramatic on board, isn't it, through there? Just wanted to give it a second just to appreciate these cars at full chat in that last sector. It's brilliant, isn't it? Really is. Right then, Kenneth Ostwald has retaken the lead from Oscar Bixrud just now, down the straight. These guys are not hanging about here. There are no fuel-saving tactics anymore. You've just got to crack on and see where you end up. Jarl Tyen will want a really good battle here with Lasserbach, because these two are our 2 championship hopefuls. Carl Janssen is going to really push it to the line as well. He can get close to winning the championship, but unfortunately it's not mathematically possible. Sindre Setsas has also caught Benjamin Fuglesang for 4th place. This is not what Ben needs. He wants to stay clear of that group behind, and so does Sindre. Neither of them want to fall into that pack. They want a safe drive to the end in 4th and 5th, but if they're not working together, then they're not going to have it. Oscar Bixrud has somehow got back in front of Kenneth Oswald. Kenneth is not taking that one lying down, and he's going to get back ahead as well. Side by side again towards Mulsanne. You can see Benjamin Fugelsang, he's got Sindre literally tucked up behind him. It looked like there was only one Mercedes then. But no, that's two of them glued together, I'm afraid. What was going on here? It looked like Asger Radstedt has got ahead of Kenneth Gulbrandsen recently. Now the two PX Racing cars chasing him down. Here's the lead again. I don't dare do this again. Look at a wonderful shot here through the trees at Circuit de la Sarthe. Looks like Oswald is actually holding back a little bit here. Oh, he's really held back quite a bit, but then he obviously gets a smoother run into Indianapolis. Bixrud is flying, he's pushing so hard at the moment, it's great to watch. Carl Jansen's just sitting there thinking, yeah, go on then, boys. Right then. It's 4 minutes for a lap. We've got a minute and a half until we hit that mark. I don't think this is going to take a minute and a half to get around here. These guys are over 80% around this lap already. I think we're going to get 2 more laps here, and I'm not sure that everyone's going to have fueled up for that. Now it's going to be time to see who has fueled it short. 5 minutes to go in the race. 3 minutes 50-something seconds for a lap. There's another minute until we're safe and we only get 1 more lap, and that is not going to happen here, is it? Right then. Place your bets in chat, everybody. Who do you think has not fueled the car to the end? We've had very, very short pit stops from a number of people. Oh, there's a big hit. Greta Alatorp after such a great race, and Malte Reimer, we were talking about how many positions they'd gained before. They both get back on. Checking for damage. Wiggling the car around just to see what the steering is like there with Greta. Let's have a look what happened. Oh, just not enough room left, unfortunately, by Alatorp. Don't think he expected Malte Reimer to still have the overlap at that point. Either way, they both carry on. Still side by side again, though, into the Porsche curves. Malte Reimer now just in front. Oh, very close indeed. Love that shot. Now, we're back with this again. Once again. Your lead trio, Kenneth Oswald in the middle of Oscar Bixrud and Carl Jansen. And then just in the background, Benjamin Fugelsang doing his best to sneak Sindre through customs. Not fooling anyone though, is he? Either way, Oscar Bixrud. I'm thinking, you know, Kenneth Oswald has realised they're going to get another lap after this. And I think he's just holding on because he knows that he might need to save some fuel. Otherwise, he could have gone past by now. Intriguing. Very, very intriguing. Lasserbach is still not overtaken Jarl Tyen. Not sure whether he's just doing the same, saving fuel, or whether he just wants to sit there and put pressure on him. Interesting that the aerial on Lasserbach's car is black and very, very hard to see, whereas Jarl Tyen's is bright white, bad look of it, or at least silver and very shiny. Wondering whether that's something spec map related that I've not covered yet. Carl Jansen's now up to second ahead of Kenneth Oswald. So he wants to have a go now at chasing down Bixrud, who is getting away. Heading down towards Indianapolis. The gap has opened after that little battle behind. We now have only 2 minutes of the race to go, but I think we're going to get another lap. Well, I know we're going to get another lap, unless these guys all have a gentleman's agreement and stop at the last corner for nearly 60 seconds. We're going to get another lap of this race. That's another 4 minutes of fuel that these drivers are going to need. Go on, everyone, get your bets in chat. Who do you think has not fueled enough to the end? Radstedt all over The back of him, though, is Ole Steinbråten. Oscar has opened up that gap a little bit here, hasn't he? We've had 2 race winners this season, Lasse back and Jarl Tyen. Jarl won Daytona, Lasse won at the Nürburgring Nordschleife, the Gesamtstrecke, and of course the very first round of the season at Spa-Francorchamps. Oh, now we saw this before from Oscar. A little blink in and out on the internet side of things. He's got a minute left. Now, anyone in the world that knows anything about motorsport will tell you it doesn't take a minute to get through the 4 chicanes. Out the final corner he goes, and across the line then to start lap 16 of round 4 in the Scandinavian GT Series, the final race of the season. And B. Carmark in the chat. I think everyone in the top 11 has enough fuel. Interesting. Okay. We shall soon see. There's your championship pairing on their final lap now. Oh, we've had Kenneth Palsrud have another issue. And this is right in front of your leaders. Oh, dearie me. That was a scary, scary moment there. That could have changed the race tenfold. Right then, last lap. Carl Janssen, Kenneth Ostwald, what are they going to do? Here's Kenneth going through. Oh, going through the door of Carl Janssen's Mercedes. Breaks the immersion a little bit, doesn't it? And there is the challenge ahead. Oscar Bixrud. Oscar's driven great so far. Since they came out of the pits and he got back in front, he's driven an incredible race. Vic does his best lap of the race, 3:56.8. Now, is Lasse going to want to push past Jarl Tyen here, or is he just going to stay safe and stay with him till the line? What do you reckon, everybody? Do you think he'll stay behind or go ahead? I think if he was being a true racer, he would push ahead, wouldn't he, and just decimate the morale that Jarl Tyen has at this moment in time. Oh, Stein Björk has had an issue in the Batmobile. Someone call Robin. Now then, down towards Mulsanne. Carl Janssen flashing the lights at Kenneth Ostwald. Not sure whether he thinks it gives him more horsepower. I've told him enough on broadcast that it does give you more horsepower, but I'm not sure if it's true. This has been a good battle. Asger Radstedt, Ole Steinbråten and Kenneth Gulbrandsen all together in 3 very stunning looking cars in what is a very tasty sandwich at the minute. Just inside the top 10, these guys. Sindre Setsas just up the road. He's not quite with Benjamin Fuglsang, and Ostwald's going for the lead. Kenneth Ostwald down the inside, but into Indianapolis. Bixrud has the inside. No, he spun it. Bixrud's around, and his teammate is going to overtake him. Benjamin Fuglsang and Sindre Setsas, which puts Carl Janssen for Core Sim Racing in the race lead. Can either of them hold on? Oh, Bixrud's going to be kicking himself. He had to go in a little bit hot to try and defend it, but that was that. Oh, that's so disappointing for Oscar. But what's going to happen here then? Is it Ostwald? Is it Janssen? Janssen holds it around the outside of the first part of the Porsche curves. Amazing stuff. Kenneth literally grinding the wall through there. It's going to have to be a big send down the inside into the Ford chicane. Final part of the Porsche curves now through the left. Gets it settled. Don't get a slowdown. Don't run it out too wide. Doesn't look like Kenneth is going to be close enough to do it. It is Carl Janssen, the only Swede inside the top, well, 25. Looks like he's going to do it through the Ford chicane one more time. It's been a fantastic drive, nice and controlled. And Carl Janssen for Core Sim Racing takes the win in the final round of the championship. And just behind, Benjamin Fuglsang and Oscar Bixrud beat Sindre Setsas. He just loses out. Jarl Tyen has got past Glenn Kay. But behind them, he was already flashing the lights. He's already weaving the car. Lasse Bak is the Scandinavian GT Series champion in the 2021 Spring Series. Massive achievement. Awesome race. Gives Glenn Kay a flash of the lights. I'm not sure whether Glenn held him up at the end there, and that's why he's flashing the lights. Setsas ran out of fuel. Or did he? No, I don't think he did. I think he got a slowdown, you know, right at the end. But what an awesome race. And you've got to feel so sorry for Oscar Bixrud. Just he turns in, it over-rotates. He's gone in too hot. He bounces off the wall and cracks on with it. Great avoidance from Sindre Setsas there. And Benjamin Fuglesang. Now, what happened with Lasse Bak and Glenn Kay? So Glenn is all the way up here. Has he made a mistake? He's going to touch the Astro. Didn't say that Glenn went off the circuit or anything, so I'm intrigued to see what happened here. Has he run out of fuel? Yeah, I think he's playing it safe on fuel, isn't he? Interesting, this is. Is he maybe giving Jarl another position for the championship, or was it genuinely running out of fuel? I'm intrigued here. Doesn't look like he's got enough time to cause any issues for Lasse. He's not dipping the clutch or anything. I think he's just giving Jarl an extra position for the championship. He just doesn't let Lasse through. Yeah, Lasse's not pleased with it, but either way. What an amazing achievement, though. Lasse Bak is your champion. There he is. Well, Carl Janssen takes a very interesting race win. And a phenomenal one at that. Still waiting for a couple of cars to cross the line. Steinbjerg, I believe, is going to be the next one. But Lasse Bak wins the Scandinavian GT Series in its first season after a fantastically hard-fought championship with the Altayan. Amazing stuff. But here is your race winner then. Carl Janssen. This is the moment he came across the line to take the race win. Out the final corner, pushed all the way by Kenneth Ostwald. Really strong performance from him. Benjamin Fuglesang manages to get a podium as well. Oscar Bixrud finishes fourth. You can just see in the background there, I think Sindre did get a slowdown or something. They must have been side by side. Very lively indeed. We are still waiting, unfortunately, for another car to cross the line. I'm just trying to have a look now. How close is he? It's Emil Larsson, who's going to be the last car to cross the line. Potentially Kenneth Palsrud as well. But Kenneth was a lap down on Emil, so I'm pretty sure this will be the last car. There he is. The Suave Men branded machine. And that is it, yes. Don't forget they need to do an in-lap as well. So if they do run out of fuel, it's their own fault. Carl Janssen takes the final win of the season ahead of Kenneth Ostwald, Benjamin Fuglesang, Oscar Bixrud and Sindre Setsas, with Kenneth Ulbrandsson, Asger Radstedt, Ola Steinbråten, Jarl Tyne and Glenn Kay rounding out your top 10. Lasse Bak is your champion. Amazing performance in that race after a very difficult qualifying session. Dennis Bjerk is 12th, Lucas Dorgaard 13th, Matthias Dahl 14th, Marcus Seholm in 15th, ahead of Kjetil Larsen, Carl Peder Nordstrand and Jeppe Johannesson. We then have Idar Gjerdevic with Quinn Badams and Kai Schubert just behind, followed by Matthias Jensen, Greta Alatorp, Malte Reimer and Marty Jakola. Eiriko Lawson, Greta Alatorp and Harry Kjellin follow them, with Chris Tapio 29th, Carl Fredrik Hersug in 30th, Daniel Sundergaard 31st, ahead of Steinbjerg, and Emil Larsson the last car in the lead lap. Kenneth Palsrud was 1 lap down, Andreas Helgerud retired with 6 laps down. Then 11 laps down was Louis Rizan, Kim Salverson and Stefan Helvig, 12 laps down in 37th and 38th. Then we have Andre Sørensen and unfortunately Mats Borg Andersen retired early on. Well, there was plenty to watch through that race. and we are, of course, going to have a chat with some of the drivers that make it all happen. In a minute when they turn up. Well, this is the start of the race. You want us to look at Carl Jansen now? He's telling us to look at Carl Jansen now before he comes in, and obviously it's a long lap here. Lasse Bach's just done some donuts as well. We've just missed Lasse doing some donuts. There you go. Lovely stuff. Carl Jansen with some big burnouts and donuts. Decides to wreck the rear of the car. Fantastic stuff. Oh. What a great drive though that was from Carl Jansen. And he bangs it in the wall as well, just for good measure. We do have a new smoke model on iRacing though. It's difficult to see through it, that's for sure. He definitely had enough fuel, didn't he? He's probably going to get disqualified for driving the wrong way around the circuit there, but either way, car won't give a damn. I'm a little bit upset that we missed the donuts from Lasse Bach there. Either way. Wonderful race, wonderful championship. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I really hope all you guys did as well in the chat. There is the beautiful sight of all the cars making their way around the first couple of corners. And the sound, listen to it. If it wasn't with the music anyway. So many of them filtering their way through. We should have some driver interviews in a minute, hopefully with your newly crowned champion Lasse Bach. Carl Jansen, I'm sure, will jump in for a chat. We also will be speaking to Anders and Andy from RPC, Racing Performance Centre. Sorry, Anders is Andy. That's his name. He's one of the guys behind RPC, which is Racing Performance Centre. And he's, of course, one of the sponsors of the championship. I'll tell you what, guys, we'll actually just quickly, we'll play the video now, because we do have a nice little video to show you. We'll quickly play that now. I'll just stop the music. We'll fade the music out as professionally as possible. Doing that manually freehand as well, you know, just in case you do want to employ me. But we'll show you the video very, very quickly, and yeah, I'll be back with you in a sec. There you go then. And I'm delighted to be joined by Anders himself in the commentary box. Anders, welcome to the commentary booth, my friend. It's been a wonderful championship, hasn't it? I bet you've really enjoyed watching this.
Yeah, for sure. It's been great, actually.
And what's been your favourite part of it? Has there been any sort of driver, or, I mean, obviously there will be a favourite team, I'm sure, but has there been anything that stands out to you?
I actually think the priority, I mean, to see all drivers, Scandinavian drivers, to come along, that's just been great for us.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a great representation as well. And, I mean, to be fair, it's not even just the numbers, is it? It's the fact that you've got so many top quality drivers out there. It's been incredibly competitive, hasn't it?
Exactly. And I think if you see, like, top 20, top 25, it's just amazing because all of them are so skilled drivers. And, I mean, for the future, it speaks out highly that the Scandinavian drivers will definitely dominate Europe and maybe World Series, we hope.
Well, we certainly do hope indeed. You never know. It's definitely one to watch out for is the Scandinavian community. And I mean, to be fair, the championship it was always a good idea, but did you expect it to be as big as it was when it was all announced?
I mean, to be honest, we sat down in the beginning of December and like, hey, let's do this, and we just turned everything upside down. For 2 weeks, we had everything going. Joakim has been just with so much great help, and you has been helping us out a lot, and we have Torfinn at Pixel, and we said, okay, let's do it. We put up a quite huge prize pool, which we were quite proud of, and we think that's, of course, has gotten some attention to the whole series for the prize pool, but in the end, what we want to see is the great racing, and we just want to say thanks to all the drivers that signed up and done this.
Yeah, they have done a mega job, and I mean, even from the very first race, you know, the fact that the race is long enough to include a pit stop as well, you know, it adds to the strategy of it all, and it just means it's not just outright pace then, doesn't it? Because it's an extra bit of calculation that they need to do, especially in a race like we saw tonight.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. I mean, the team strategies, how they do it, how they calculate things, and, you know, sometimes it's luck and sometimes it's just like skills. So it's fun to watch.
It certainly has been, and well, I really do hope we get to see it again. I mean, is there any inside knowledge you can give us on whether there's a plan for another season?
Well, we for sure want to do another season, and it will be starting September, October, maybe October, November. But we want to make it bigger. We want to include also Finland and Iceland. Mm-hmm. So we will get out with more news as soon as we know.
Well, I really look forward to hearing it. Anders, thank you very much for joining me this evening. Is there anything else that you want to just shout out before you go?
Well, I just want to give like a huge shout out to Lasse Bak for great driving and being the overall winner, and for Carl today winning this race. So great achievement for both of them.
Cracking stuff. Great to speak to you, Anders. Thank you very much for joining me, mate, and hopefully we'll get a chance to speak again very soon, my friend.
Absolutely. See you soon, Chaz.
Thank you.
Okay.
Great stuff. Anders Grandal there from Racing Performance Centre. Really top guy. And first off, we'll start by speaking to the man that will try and peel him down off the ceiling, but Carl Jansen joins me in the box. Carl, that was a hell of a race, mate. A crazy ending. Did you expect to win that one, or was it just a case of praying all the way through?
From the beginning, I was not really. I didn't think it would go this well. I've been struggling with this car for the previous round, so been a tough one. But yeah, definitely there in the end when we broke away from like the first or second lap, definitely thought it could be something. After the pit stop as well, when we broke away us three there, you know, the chances. Well, it was like a guaranteed podium there. And then on the last lap, when Kenneth overtook me, I was like, this is going to be hard to win. But then obviously the incident happened ahead, and kind of the road just opened up for me. And then also a super clean battle into the Porsche curves. Can't really say more than that. That was some of the best racing I've had this season, I think.
Yeah, it was beautiful. I mean, the fact that you guys were so close side by side. I mean, we even went on an onboard shot down the straight, and we were inside your door, but the car was actually on Kenneth's car. The camera was on Kenneth's car, I should say. It was just amazing, and you know, it's been like that all season, really. You know, everybody's been able to get close. Everybody's had these titanic battles all the way through. Can we expect to see you in this again if they do another one?
Yeah, I mean, with how it's going now, I think I'll come back for another one. Been very fun. I had some bad luck with penalties and stuff like that, but hopefully if I come back, don't do any mistakes like going or towing the car in qualifying and stuff like that, just stupid stuff. Definitely gonna come back for a title run against Lasse there.
Well, I was just about to say, mate, I hopefully we'll see you getting more wins, because I mean that seemed like one of the more difficult ones to do this season, because you had to really calculate it on the fuel, didn't you? It's not a short lap round here, so you have to make sure you've got enough.
Oh yeah, for sure. I pretty much took I think 5 liters extra, which definitely was enough. I think you could have gone with maybe 3 extra or something like that, and then made a bit of a gap in the beginning, but with how the draft works here, I felt like it was better to go safe then sorry,
Yeah.
Since you pretty much anyways gonna pull up to the cars ahead anyways. But yeah, I mean the tricky part with winning here is there's so much draft. Like you're never gonna pull away. If like us three, we would never have been able to pull away from each other unless anything happened.
Yeah.
And I thought I think that showed into the very end there. So yeah, I mean, I think this was the most difficult race to win on. And yeah, I had a very good race. So
Well, you've got that flex now. You can say, I won the most difficult one, so either way though, Carl, it's great to speak to you again, mate. It's been a fantastic season, and of course, you know the question by now. Is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to before you go?
Oh yeah, everyone at Core Sim Racing for the massive support. Also Sindre for all the work he does, and then also you guys for hosting and broadcasting and doing all that stuff.
Smashing. Great to speak to you, Carl. Thanks very much, mate. Well done, and we'll see you very soon.
Yeah, later.
Cheers. Great stuff. Carl Janssen, the absolute legend that is. We'll next bring in our second place finisher, Kenneth Oswald, who I think, to be fair, Kenneth, it's safe to say you had a very lively race there. I don't think you had a minute's rest in that one, did you?
No, it was a quite good one. And yeah, I'm definitely sweaty right now, so, but it was great fun.
Well, there were some awesome battles. I mean, a couple of times, you were side by side with people around the Porsche curves, which doesn't always end well. But I mean, with the quality of drivers in this series, does that give you the extra confidence to be able to do stuff like that?
Yeah, definitely. The level on the drivers here is really, really high, and I've seen them race other races, and you kind of know, even though you haven't raced them so much, you know what to expect, and yeah, everybody's playing it good.
Well, it certainly helps out as well. What was it like in terms of calculating the fuel? Because as I've just said to Carl, it's not an easy track to calculate fuel on because of how long a lap is. It can very easily go one way then the other, can't it?
Yeah, it was obviously did a test race prior to the race, so I knew approximately what to do. But we were lucky. I think Benjamin was pulling us, so we had an easy way, and he also had the pace to pull us away from the others. So yeah.
It's a shame it didn't work out for him on fuel, isn't it, really? Because obviously with him doing all of the towing for everybody, he had to take more fuel and then ended up a bit further back from you guys. But either way, you had a great battle in that top three right to the very end, didn't you?
Yeah, it was quite crazy there. I think I should have had Carl into the Porsche curves, but I was a little bit too coward, so I backed out a little bit too much.
Well, still, second place is a fantastic result, mate. Plenty of championship points to round out your season. Is there any chance that we could see you back if they do another one?
Yeah, I think there'll be a chance for that. And obviously, I hope all the others who has been competing now joins as well. It's cool to race against sim racers that we kind of look at like aliens.
Indeed, mate. Well, you've done a good job of it all season. And to round it up, is there anybody that you'd like to give a shout out to while you're on the stream?
Definitely the team MB Racing Esport Nordics. Everybody in it. We've worked really good together on practices, and yeah, I think it wouldn't have been possible without them, because we obviously had a good strategy on the qualifying and everything that worked us up there.
Well, it certainly worked out for you, Kenneth. Well done this season, mate. Great to speak to you, and hopefully we'll speak again soon.
I hope so.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Cheers. Kenneth Oswald there, your second place finisher. And the man that finished behind, despite leading a hell of a lot of the race, Benjamin Fuglesang joins me in the box. Ben, that didn't look like the easiest of races, but it certainly looked like quite the fun one early on. How did you find that?
Yeah, it was a really fun race, but I didn't manage to calculate the fuel correctly, so I needed to go in pit before the others, and I lost like 3 seconds on that, so it wasn't calculated that well.
It was a real shame to see you come out, and with those guys coming back out as well, I thought you were definitely going to jump them, and then when I realised how short the pit lane run was for those guys, it just seemed like it was almost painful to see, because we knew how quick you were early on, leading the whole group, but you had a bit of a lively moment on the last lap as well with your teammate rejoining, didn't you?
Yeah, it was a fun last lap, and I was kind of afraid for Sindre, who's behind me, because of the draft, and he would be able to pass me. but that didn't end up happening because I think he got a slowdown in the last sector.
Yeah, I think there was just the literally right at the death of the race as well, having a slowdown. But either way, you still came away with a podium. Talk to me about the entire season, though. Has it been how you expected? Have you enjoyed it?
I've enjoyed the Scandinavian GT series very much. It has been a lot of fun, and I've learned a lot about the Mercedes and how to drive it.
Will it be a car that you drive a lot, do you reckon?
Yeah, I reckon. It will be fun to keep driving it.
And what's been your favourite race this season? I imagine this one ranks quite highly, but did you prefer any of the others to this one?
I like Daytona quite much too, because I had a lot of speed there too. And I would have liked this one more if I hadn't done some mistakes during the race, because when I got out of the pit, I got like 2 slowdowns in 1 lap. So
right.
That was kind of painful. Because I was like 2.5 seconds behind the last one in the first group, and then I got a slowdown, and it was just so painful to get it away.
Yeah.
So I just lost about 5 seconds.
I was going to say, because it seemed like all of a sudden Sindre had caught up to you, so that'll explain why then with the slowdowns, unfortunately. But either way, Ben, a fantastic drive all evening, mate. A great season for you. And is there anybody that you would like to just give a quick thanks to while you're here?
I would like to give a quick thanks to Even for helping me get the speed up, and also to Oscar for being such a great teammate to drive with.
Brilliant stuff. Well, great to speak to you, Ben. Well done this season, mate, and hopefully we'll see you on track again very, very soon.
Yeah, I hope so.
Thank you. And last but very much not least is, I'm sure he's going to be happy with me saying this, your new Scandinavian GT Series champion, Lasse Bak. Lasse, that didn't look like the evening that you wanted there with qualifying, but talk to me about the race though. You must have been very excited to make it through like that.
Yeah, qualifying, that's just forget about that one. I completely messed everything up. That was really bad. But the race, I was just take it easy, because when I got out on the grid, I knew that okay, the race is gonna start in the middle of the chicane or the 2 chicanes, and it's gonna be an absolute miss. So I was just gonna take it as easy as I could, try not to hit anyone. But I ended up hitting guy anyways, but nothing happened to him. But then I got a 4x, and they made things a little bit more difficult at the end of the race. But I made it through at the start and made some positions, so quite happy with that.
With the pit stops as well. I mean, I was kind of expecting you to maybe have a shorter stop with what was coming, and then potentially jump some of the guys. But I suppose with you not staying in the slipstream for so long, you were always going to take a little bit more fuel, weren't you?
I was trying to save, but I completely forgot about it. I was just wanting to make position, so it was just full throttle the whole race. But it looked like I was a bit better on fuel than the most of the other guys, because I got 2 seconds, I think, on the leader when we pitted, or we all got out of the pit. So I think my fuel was pretty good.
Well, it certainly looked like it, mate. I mean, you made it to the end of the race, which is it's always a bragging right at Le Mans. But it's been a wonderful season from you, and 2 wins out of the 4 races. And I mean, it's quite ironic, really, to win the championship with your worst result of the season. But either way, you've got the job done. Did you expect to do that coming into this? Because I mean, from the very get-go at Spa, it just seemed like you were unbeatable.
I didn't really expect to come in and win like this so easy. With such a huge lead, I didn't expect that at all. I was hoping, or not hoping, how do you say it? I was thinking that there was gonna be more people, more really good people in the Danish that was gonna compete also. But I guess they didn't have time. But I definitely didn't expect to come away with the win so easy.
Well, it's been a fantastic thing to watch, Lasse. Honestly, the performances you've done this season have been mind-boggling from where I'm sat, because I don't know how you guys get the pace that you do. But either way, a wonderful drive tonight through the field to get the position you needed. You are now the champion. Is there anybody you'd like to thank while you're here?
Thanks to everyone who has been participating in this series, and everyone behind the scenes, and thanks to Williams Esport also for the support. I think that's it.
Fair play. Well, great to speak to you, Lasse. Well done again, mate, and hopefully I'll see you next time round.
Yep, for sure.
Cheers. Well, there you go, everybody. Your new Scandinavian GT Series champion, Lasse back. And what a deserving champion as well. It's been one hell of a season. Really enjoyed covering this. But unfortunately, everybody, that is all we have time for here on Chaz Draycott Media. I honestly cannot thank any of you enough for how much support you've given me this season, the support for the channel, all the admins, everyone for the support behind the scenes, and just how well organised this has been. The wonderful racing as well. It's been a real honour. Honestly, it has. I am so grateful to have been asked to do this championship. As I've said, I hope to be doing it again if they do another one. And of course, I'm in chats with the admins already. We just need to try and work around my real-world commentary. But either way, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you all the admins, all the drivers, everyone involved. It's been a real joy. I've been Chaz Draycott. This has been the Scandinavian GT Series. And we'll see you next time. Have a great night, everyone.